All right, welcome. Today we're diving deep into Chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is all about the knowledge of the Absolute. This is where Krishna really starts to peel back the layers on the nature of reality itself and his place at the very center of it all. So, let's get into it.
Wow, right out of the gate, Krishna hits us with this. He's setting a very serious stage here. He's telling Arjuna, and really all of us, that the knowledge he's about to share is incredibly rare. It's not something you just stumble upon. So he's saying, pay close attention, because very, very few people ever get to this level of understanding. So what is this big secret? Well, Krishna makes a pretty incredible promise. He says he's going to lay out a kind of knowledge that's so complete, so all-encompassing, that once you get it, there's literally nothing left to know. This is it, the ultimate revelation. And here's the key part. He says he'll explain it both in theory and in practice. This isn't just going to be some high-level abstract philosophy that's hard to grasp. No, he's promising a complete blueprint for understanding the universe, the what it is and the how it works. It's the whole shebang. Okay, so how does he even begin to tackle something so massive? He starts by breaking down all of existence into two basic categories. You can think of it as the reality we see and the hidden force that actually holds it all together. So Krishna splits reality into two distinct natures. First, you've got the material world, which he calls his inferior nature. This is all the stuff we can perceive: the earth, water, fire, even our own minds. But then, beyond all that, there's a superior nature, a spiritual life force that's the engine for the whole system.
Let's dig into that material side for a second. Krishna lists out 8 parts. You have the 5 physical elements we know: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. But then he adds 3 more subtle things: our mind, our intellect, and our ego. So think about that. Even your thoughts and your sense of I are considered part of this physical, material world. But all that material stuff is just one side of the coin. Beyond it is the superior nature. Krishna calls it the Jiva Bhusam, which is basically the life force, the consciousness that sparks everything to life. And this is the crucial point, right? The material world on its own is just stuff. It needs this higher energy, this soul, to actually animate it and keep it going. I mean, what a stunning metaphor to explain how it all fits together. He's saying he's that invisible thread, and everything in creation, every planet, every person, you, me, we're all just pearls on that string. Without the thread, the pearls are just a chaotic mess. He is the thing that connects and holds everything, and I mean everything, together.
So, if that's how reality actually works, the big question is, why don't we see it? You know, why do we feel so separate, like the world is just a bunch of random, disconnected things? Well, Krishna says there's a reason for that. There's a powerful illusion that's clouding our vision. And that illusion has a name: Maya. It's described as Krishna's divine energy, an illusion he creates. Now, this doesn't mean the world is fake. It's very real. It just means our perception of it is kind of warped and incomplete. And this illusion is woven from 3 basic qualities, called the gunas. And Krishna gives us a warning. It is incredibly hard to see through it on your own. These 3 gunas are the building blocks of that illusion. You have sattva, which is goodness and harmony. Then there's rajas, which is all about passion and activity. And finally, tamas, which is ignorance and laziness. Krishna says the entire world is caught up in these 3 modes. They create this web that keeps us from seeing that thread connecting all the pearls. So if Maya is so powerful and almost impossible to get past, what's the solution? Is there a way out? Krishna gives a very direct answer. He says the only way to cut through this illusion is to take refuge in him. Surrender to the divine is the one and only key to get past Maya's grip. Okay, so if surrender is the path forward, who are the people that actually start walking down it? Krishna actually gives us a really fascinating breakdown of the different kinds of people who begin to search for him. He says there are 4 types of virtuous people who are drawn to worship, and it's a great way to understand the different motivations that can kickstart someone's spiritual journey. Okay, so here they are. First, you've got the distressed, someone who's suffering and turns to God for help. Second is the seeker of wealth, who's looking for some kind of material success. Third, you have the seeker of knowledge, the curious one who just wants to understand how it all works. And finally, there's the wise one, the Janani, who already knows the truth and just worships out of pure love. Now, Krishna says all 4 of these people are noble, but he definitely has a favorite, the wise one, the Jnani. And why is that?
It's because the Johnny isn't looking for anything in return. Their devotion isn't a transaction. It's not, I'll worship you if you help me. It's just pure, unconditional love and understanding. Krishna says they're incredibly dear to him, and he is just as dear to them.
And that path of wisdom leads to this ultimate realization that Vasudeva, or Krishna, is everything. There is no separation. But look at how he ends that sentence. Such a great soul is exceedingly rare. We've come full circle right back to the beginning of the chapter, reminding us again just how difficult and precious this knowledge really is.
So after all that, you might be asking, what's the point? What is the real-world payoff for gaining this super rare knowledge? Well, the last few verses of the chapter connect all of these ideas to the ultimate purpose of our lives. The goal is liberation, plain and simple. It's about achieving freedom from the endless cycle of getting old, dying, and then being born all over again. By truly understanding the nature of reality, you can actually step off that cosmic carousel for good.
And Krishna even gives us a little roadmap. It's basically a two-step process. First, take refuge in the divine. We heard that before. It's about surrender. And second, you have to actively work to understand the big picture, Brahman, the absolute reality, the true nature of yourself, and the mechanics of karma, or action. That's the work. That's what leads to freedom.
Which leaves us with a final, really deep question to chew on. This chapter tells us that reality is hidden behind a veil, but that there's a path to see past it. It suggests that how we see the world isn't just random. It's shaped by what we want, what we know, and where we place our faith. So, the question for us to think about is, what is it that really determines how you see the world? And what is the thread that holds your reality together?